You've seen them walk into a room. They act like they own the place. Loud, proud, so sure of themselves. They think their ideas, their charm, their very presence is all that matters. They treat quietness as weakness. They interrupt others. They talk themselves up with every breath. But what's really beneath all that confidence? Often, it's a very thin shell, an ego so fragile it can shatter like glass with just one careful move. Machiavelli didn't break these big egos with anger. He broke them with precision, with quiet tactics so subtle the person never knew they were being taken apart, until their power was gone, their image cracked, and their control slipped away. Because to truly deal with someone who is too proud, you don't need to destroy them directly, you just need to make them doubt themselves. Chapter 1. Preparing the ground, building up to bring down. The first step of being a silent stone mason, when facing a big, proud ego monument, is to work on the ground around it first. Principle 1. Don't attack the ego. Feed it first. When you try to fight a very proud person head-on, they just get defensive. They become harder to reach. They push back even more. But when you make their ego feel good, when you nod, agree, admire their words, they lower their guard. They start to believe you think they're the best. They relax in their idea of being superior. That's when they become careless. That's when they start showing their weaknesses. Let them think they're the smartest person in the room. Let them talk a lot. Let them brag. And while they're busy showing off, you are watching them closely. You are gathering information. Because when someone feels truly admired, they forget they're in a game. They stop thinking strategically. And that's your first victory. You take away their defenses with praise they never realized was a trick. NIF. These strategies for subtly dealing with arrogance are already making you see power differently. You're on the path to true influence. Hit that like button now to support this content, and make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into mastering your personal power. Your support helps us share this crucial wisdom. Chapter 2. The subtle carving reflecting their own image. Once you've made them feel comfortable, the next step for the silent stone mason is to subtly reflect their own pride back at them, but with a slight twist. Principle 2. Mirror their pride with a touch of the absurd. If they are very proud of how smart they are, praise it, but add something a little too much. For example, say, "You're truly the most brilliant person I've met. I bet even university professors ask you for advice." If they love how good-looking they are, say, "You look like you just stepped out of a magazine. It's amazing how you're not famous yet." You're not just praising, you're gently making fun of them by exaggerating. The over-the-top praise makes them look a bit silly. Others watching might start to notice this. And the proud person begins to feel that your admiration might not be completely real, which makes them unsure. That self-doubt is your next small cut to their ego. Principle 3. Ask quiet, undermining questions. Don't attack directly. Just ask questions that make them think, "Oh, that's an interesting idea. Who first told you about that concept? Do you think that way of doing things would still work if the world changed?" That's a bold thing to say. Most people wouldn't dare. I admire your courage. You're not saying they're wrong. You're just planting seeds of doubt. If you do this when others are listening, it works even better. The person starts to feel like they're being judged, not praised. They start giving many reasons, explaining too much, defending themselves. That's your sign. Their ego is starting to crack. Because someone truly confident never has to explain. Only someone unsure feels the need to prove things. Chapter 3. The hidden weakness, shining a light on their flaws. The next move for the silent stone mason is to stop giving them the attention they expect, especially when they need it most. Principle 4. Go silent when they expect praise. This is a very precise move. When they say something they are clearly proud of, don't reply. Look at them calmly, blink once, nod slightly, and then change the subject. Or even better, respond with a neutral, calm sound like, interesting, and simply move on. This lack of reaction is very damaging to someone whose ego needs constant applause. It's like taking away food from someone who's used to eating a lot. They expected admiration, applause, agreement. Instead, they got nothing. And that quietness echoes louder than any insult. It makes them question their own worth, their own brilliance. And that unsureness is like a slow poison for anyone who needs constant approval. Principle 5. Outshine them without directly competing. Machiavelli didn't believe in direct fights. That just draws too much attention and makes people defensive. Instead, he would quietly do better. If someone brags about their money, calmly tell a story about a time you managed a much larger amount, but do it casually, not boastfully. If they show off a skill, mention something you've achieved that is even bigger, not with pride, but with a quiet, calm tone. You're not trying to beat them openly. You're just acting as if your world is so big that their accomplishments are just small talk. This forces them to rethink their own ego. What they thought was very impressive now feels small. And when your excellence is shown without any apparent effort, it hurts much deeper than a direct challenge. Chapter 4. Shifting the foundation, revealing their insecurity. Principle 6. Gently expose their hidden worries. Proud people often hide big fears and insecurities beneath their strong outward appearance. If you can find these hidden worries, you can affect them deeply without ever raising your voice. For example, if they always brag about money, ask softly, "Do you ever worry about what you'd do if all that disappeared?" If they always talk about how many people admire them, ask, "Do you ever wonder if those people are just saying that to avoid trouble?" You're not attacking them. You're just asking, calmly. But these kinds of questions stay with them because they bring up the possibility that everything they've built is a show, and even worse, that you see right through it. Principle 7. Let them defeat themselves while you stay calm. The person with the biggest ego will always push too far. They'll talk too much, reveal too much, challenge the wrong person. If you've played your part well by making them feel comfortable, watching them closely, and subtly planting doubts, all you have to do is wait. They will eventually say something foolish, or insult the wrong person, or push a conversation too far. When they do, you stay calm. Watch. Let them unravel. If others are watching, your quietness becomes very powerful. People will remember the one who stayed calm, not the one who fell apart trying to protect a false image. You don't break someone's ego with force. You break it by making them trip over their own false ideas. And when the dust settles, they won't hate you, they'll fear you. Because you smiled, you listened, you never raised your voice, and somehow, you weakened them anyway. Chapter 5. The final touch. Unmasking the false monument. Once you've planted the seeds of doubt, once their voice starts shaking where it once sounded strong, once their eyes show worry because they're no longer sure you believe them, you've entered the final stage. This is where most people get greedy or loud. Machiavelli would do neither. He'd get colder, quieter, sharper. Because now it's not about attacking harder. It's about letting their own ego do the rest of the damage for you. Principle 8. Praise them for traits they secretly hate about themselves. This isn't just flattery. This is like emotional sabotage hidden in compliments. If you know someone is insecure about being less smart, say, "What I like about you is you don't overthink things. You keep it simple and direct." If they hate being seen as soft, say, "You have such a kind, gentle energy. It's very rare in someone with your position." If they act overly aggressive, say, "You've got this calm, peaceful feeling about you. It's almost relaxing to be around." You're praising what they're trying to hide, and they can't say no to the compliment without showing their insecurity. So they smile, but inside, something twists, because now you're deciding who they are, not them. Principle 9. Use the room against them without saying a word. Once they start to doubt how others see them, use the people watching. When they speak, look at them, then glance at others with a neutral or slightly raised eyebrow. Not to mock, just to seem curious. That one glance makes others look too. And now, They're watching for something to be wrong. You've turned their spotlight into a pressure cooker. The ego, which loved attention, now wants to escape it. Even better, when they say something wrong, don't correct them, just pause, smile politely, and change the conversation. That quiet change says their mistake wasn't even worth talking about. It takes away their confidence faster than any direct criticism. Because it wasn't a big drama, it was simply a quiet dismissal. This is Machiavellian coldness, making them feel unimportant when they expect to be feared. You don't directly attack a big ego. You deny it the attention it craves. Nothing hurts pride faster than being treated like background noise. Principle 10. Use a single quiet laugh, but not with them. This is very precise and damaging when done at the right moment. When they say something meant to impress or threaten, give the tiniest, calmest laugh. Not mocking, not loud, just enough to suggest gentle amusement. Then, go completely still. That laugh says everything. Like, I see right through you. You're not impressive. And you're trying too hard. They will feel it like a sudden shock. And they can't complain, because you just laughed. What can they say? Don't laugh at me? They'd look silly. That's the beauty. You've made them look bad without even being openly mean. Your outward manner stays polite and friendly. But that one quiet moment breaks everything they thought they controlled. Let's go deeper into this careful art of making someone look bad. Ask them questions they're afraid to answer. If someone constantly shows off their money, ask softly. That's impressive. Is that from stable investments or more risky ventures? If they brag about their leadership, ask subtly. How do you handle people who aren't easily impressed by titles? If they pretend to be emotionally strong, ask, just curious, what do you do when you feel completely unsure? You don't want real answers. You want hesitation. You want to see the small flicker in their eyes, the pause in their breathing, the careful way they decide how to lie. That hesitation is seen by others, and it's very clear. Even if they answer well, their image of control just cracked. Their mask slipped. But perhaps the deadliest tactic is to let them believe they're winning, then quietly take away everything without explanation. This is pure Machiavellian strategy at its best. Let them think they've impressed you. Let them believe they've taken over the situation, that you admire them, respect them, trust them. And just when they feel completely sure of it, go silent. Stop inviting them. Stop praising them. Stop reacting. Don't fight. Just disappear from their need for your approval. This creates a psychological collapse. The person who once relied on your attention will now feel confused and desperate. They'll try harder to impress you. They'll reach out more, talk louder. You'll become the invisible person they can't live without. And the more they try to get your approval back, the more obvious their desperation becomes to everyone around them. You've broken their ego not by shaming them, but by creating a deep need for you. You gave it, then you took it away. And that empty space, that silence, it shouts. Because when someone's whole identity was built to impress, and the one person they couldn't impress stopped watching, that's not just losing. That's a deep defeat. At this point, their ego is no longer a strong monument. It's a cracked mirror, still showing power on the surface, but broken underneath. The quietness you showed, the questions you asked, the subtle glances, the faint laugh, it all adds up like a slow-acting poison. And now, you move in for the final touch. Not with anger, not with argument, but with Machiavelli's most powerful technique, the illusion of superiority, without saying a single word. Here's how to ensure your transformation continues. Hit the like button if this deep dive into Machiavellian wisdom has helped you understand how to subtly dismantle arrogance. Your support helps share these vital lessons. Subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. Your journey to mastering unseen influence and becoming a silent stone mason begins now. I'll see you in the next build.